There's something going on behind the scenes at Flowery Branch that no one expected. An absence on the field, an explanation that divides opinions, and a question that's starting to echo through the hallways and stands. What if time is running out? This is the kind of situation that makes any fan stop and think twice. Because when the promise of a bright future starts to turn into doubt, everything changes. Expectation turns into impatience, and what was hope turns into demand. But don't worry, the story goes far beyond a simple absence. There are details that weren't said, there are signs that were ignored, and most importantly, there's an entire season riding on what happens next. Be sure to hit the like button and stick around until the end, because this news could change everything you thought about the future of the Falcons offense. Something isn't adding up at Flowery Branch. As organized team activities, OTAs, began, eyes naturally scanned the field for a sight Falcons fans had been waiting for years, a healthy, dominant Kyle Pitts. But he wasn't there. Questions arose, concerns arose. Some speculated about a contract dispute, others worried about a deeper issue. Then CBS Sports broke the news. It's not about money. Pitts, the once lauded tight end from Florida, is dealing with a foot issue, and while officials downplayed the issue as minor and preventative, the timing is enough to raise eyebrows. Because let's face it, this isn't just about a sore foot. This is about a player drafted to be generational. And yet, 3 seasons in, we're still waiting. Number 700-yard season. No breakout year. No signature moment. That's not what Atlanta envisioned when they called his name on draft night. So here's the real question. If it doesn't happen with Michael Penix Jr. under center, will it ever happen? This season isn't just pivotal, it's personal. Kyle Pitts isn't just playing for stats. He's playing for his reputation, his future, and quite possibly a second contract. And Falcons fans know better than anyone, potential means nothing without production. But there's still hope. Hope that the arm of Penix will unlock what we've been waiting for. Hope that Pitt's body holds up. Because if it doesn't click now, with the best QB he's had in a system designed for explosiveness, maybe it never will. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, something intriguing is brewing in the secondary. Raheem Morris isn't one to toss out comparisons lightly, but when he talks about Xavier Watts, his praise is striking. His mindset is very similar to Jessie's. That's Jessie Bates, all-pro leader of this Falcons defense. And Morris isn't alone. Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich doubled down, calling Watts a really cool player who, like Bates, plays from the neck up. The comparisons don't stop at attitude. Their pre-draft journeys mirrored each other. Underwhelming test scores? Check. Moderate athleticism metrics? Check. But turn on the film and suddenly, it all makes sense. These aren't combined warriors. These are football players, smart, instinctive, relentless. Bates' relative athletic score was a 7.2. Watts came in just shy at 6.99. Not eye-popping. But when you watch them on the field, the impact is unmistakable. And that's exactly what the Falcons are betting on. Watts has the tools. He has the mentor. And in a secondary already loaded with talent, A.J. Terrell, D. Alford, Mike Hughes, adding a cerebral, instinctive safety only strengthens a unit that's quietly shaping into one of the league's most complete. Especially with the glaring failure of the Justin Simmons experiment still fresh, this new energy is refreshing. But as we shift gears, let's talk about a name that could change everything, Trey Hendrickson. Yes, the Falcons want him. Yes, there's mutual interest. And yes, this could be the move that transforms a defense that desperately lacked bite off the edge last season. We're talking about a guy who led the NFL in sacks in 2024, who posted 17.5 sacks, 19 tackles for loss, 6 forced fumbles, and 36 QB hits on a Cincinnati defense that had nothing else going for it. Nothing. He's not just good, he's relentless. A one-man wrecking crew. And he's tired of being underpaid. At just $21 million per year, he's outside the top 5 among edge rushers. He's not asking for Myles Garrett money, but he wants to be respected. And frankly, he's earned that. So what would it cost? Not as much as you might think. A 3rd-round pick in 2026. A 5th in 2027. That's it. For a player who can tilt the field every Sunday. That's a steal. Especially for a team like Atlanta that struggled to generate pressure. If you're serious about contending in 2025, you make that move. But here's where it gets spicy. Hendrickson isn't bluffing. He said it loud and clear. He won't play another snap unless he gets paid. This is a standoff, and it could drag on. The Bengals can't afford to lose him, but they also might not be willing to meet his number. That's where the Falcons come in. That's where Fontenot has to ask himself, how badly do we want to win? Now it's your turn, Falcons Nation. What would you do if you were GM Terry Fontenot? Would you trade for Trey Hendrickson or pass? And if you think that's where the story ends, think again. Because while Trey Hendrickson remains the name that can flip the narrative on defense, the Falcons have already made moves to solidify the heart of their offense. The signing of restricted free agent center Ryan Newsel to a 2-year, $9.5 million deal, $6.25 million of that guaranteed, is more than a transaction. It's a message. Atlanta is protecting its investment in Michael Penix Jr. by starting from the middle out. Look around the league. Young quarterbacks either thrive or crumble depending on the strength of their offensive line. The Texans saw it with C.J. Stroud. The Bears with Justin Fields. It's a pattern. And if the Falcons want to buck that trend, it starts with a rock-solid center. Newsel isn't just a placeholder. He's a foundation. He understands this system, he's got the reps, and now he has the trust of the front office. That move shows intentionality. It shows a front office thinking ahead, setting Penix up not just to survive, but to lead. Because as much as we talk about the talent, the big throws, the deep balls, the mobility, none of it matters if your quarterback is running for his life. You win in the trenches. And with Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom, and now Newsel locked in, the pieces are quietly coming together. But it also raises the stakes. There are no excuses now. Penix will have protection. Bijan Robinson is ready to explode in year 2. Drake London is poised for a breakout with a true quarterback. And Kyle Pitts, well, this is his moment. It all aligns for 2025. That's why the front office is being aggressive. That's why Hendrickson is in the conversation. Because a franchise can only live in the maybe next year mindset for so long. At some point, you have to go for it. The NFC South is wide open. The Saints are aging. The Bucs are unpredictable. The Panthers, rebuilding. This is the Falcons' window. And that's what makes this offseason so pivotal. Every move counts. Every decision echoes into January and beyond. That's why this team isn't playing it safe. From the front office to the field, there's urgency. There's belief. There's a recognition that the time is now. Not in 2026. Not when the roster is older and the contracts get heavier. Now, with a rookie QB on a manageable deal, a young core, and a defense that's a pass rusher away from being elite. So here's the deal, Falcons fans. We're on the edge of something real. Something that could finally turn years of potential into playoff wins. But it won't happen by chance. It takes bold moves. It takes grit. And it takes fans who believe just as much as the players do. If you've made it this far, drop a like on this video. It helps us reach even more members of Falcons Nation. Smash that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of this journey. And hit the notification bell so you're the first to know when the next big move breaks. And now, I want to hear from you. What's your level of belief in this team right now? Is Kyle Pitts ready to take off? Should the Falcons go all in for Trey Hendrickson? And do you trust Michael Penix Jr. to be the future of this franchise? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to the channel. Go Falcons!